Hi all, I promised I would do some training for you on how to run home parties. So apologies that it's been a little bit delayed, but here you go, and I hope this is quite helpful for you. I'm going to go through how I run my parties. Now it's not the law by any stretch of the imagination, but it does seem to work for me, and I've done several $1,000 parties and quite a lot in the sort of £500–600 region. So I'm hoping that if you can duplicate at least some of what I do, then you should be able to get some similar success. And please feel free to give me some feedback on anything that you try. So I've made some notes. I'm going to keep referring. Apologies for that. First thing you need to do is you need to book a date for your party. And that means you've got to speak to people, you've got to find out who would be happy to host a house party for you, and you need to encourage them to fix a date down in your diary. Now, I personally aim for 2 to 4 parties a month, and if you can achieve around the 500 PRS in each party, then you're looking at pink from 1 month's worth of parties plus 1 active member of your team. And that also qualifies you then the minimum 500 PRS that you need each month to be able to work up through the marketing plan. So book a date in your diary. Once you've got that fixed, I send out a party pack to each of my hostesses, and that consists of a welcome letter, and I'll save these in the file section of our team page. I include 15 invitations. I encourage my party hosts to aim for 8 to 10 guests at their party, 15 to allow for people that can't make it. I include generic order forms, and again that's to encourage my hostess to take orders prior to the party and from anyone who can't attend. And my hostess gets her very own catalogue. Make sure that you've put your details on the back of the catalogue. So I'm working very, very closely with my hostess at this stage. The letter encourages her to have a look through the catalogue and decide what it is that she would like for free. And then that would give us an idea of the number of sales that we need to generate from her party. From the get-go, people know that this is a purchasing opportunity. This isn't just a get together and use up your kit type event. In the letter, I explain that in order for the party to be successful, you need to generate a minimum of £200 worth of sales. So ideally, you should have 8 to 10 plus makeup loving friends there. And the more successful that the party is, the more that they as a hostess will get in terms of Y cash and half price items. I'm also very open, and I encourage my hostess to take orders prior to the party, and I encourage her in the letter to take payment. Do not accept verbal orders. They are not real orders. You need them written down and you need payment in advance. This is a business at the end of the day. So I send that out to her, and a couple of days later I will check in with her and I will ask her if she's looked through the catalogue and what sort of bits she's after. Is it perhaps one of the collections? Is it the mascara? She might only have quite humble goals, and that's absolutely fine. But you need to find out what she wants, and you want to make her feel special, and you want to tailor your party around that. So obviously if she wants some mascara, then you're going to focus a little bit more on the mascara at the party perhaps. If she's after the foundation, then you're going to look through perhaps some of the collections, and that might be something that you tailor your demo towards. So when I know what she wants, I know roughly how many sales we need to generate, and I share that information with her. So if she wants £50 worth of free stuff, then go and look at the points calculator on your back office and it will tell you how many sales you need to generate. I then create her party link about 3 days prior to her party, and I email that over to her, and I make sure that she goes in and she activates that link, and I encourage her to share that link with her friends on Facebook or via email. Some hostesses don't want to do that. They don't want to feel that they're responsible for that, and that's absolutely fine, but you need to make sure that they understand that their party shop is there. So I do it about 3 days prior to the party, and then it runs for 1 week after the party. On the night, I make sure that I take catalogues, pens, blank order forms, and I usually take about 15 or 20 blank order forms, just in case there's extra people that have turned up. And I take a raffle sheet, very, very simple raffle sheet. I'll save these, like I said, in the files tab. And I usually wear a branded top, something with a unique logo on. Doesn't have to be expensive, but I do dress up as the presenter for the party, and I do want to be branded. I will look fairly smart. I've actually got a tabard with unique embroidered on, and I normally wear black leggings with my black tabard. And I go with no makeup on at all. It's quite a relaxed affair, but it also means that I can demo on the day, and it puts a lot of people at ease that I'm not turning up fully made up, and they can see how very easy it is to apply the makeup. I also take my card reader, essential. If you haven't got an iZettle card reader, then do let me know, and I will sort out a link for that for you. And I usually take probably about £20 in float money, just in case people want to pay in cash on the night and they need to change. So normally take pound coins, 50p's, that kind of thing. When I get there, I lay out all of the products, and obviously I know the hostess, or I've got to know the hostess, and as people arrive I give everybody a catalogue of their own. So I do try to make sure I've got 10 to 15 catalogues on hand. Everyone a catalogue, at least one between 2 if you haven't invested in many catalogues yet. So a catalogue, I give them a pen, and I give them an order form, and as they're arriving I encourage them to have a little flick through the catalogue, have a look at what they've got, and if there's anything that they want to buy at the end of the evening, then to be jotting it on their order form as we go through. I'm quite casual about it, but I do keep dropping those hints. I also try to find out from any of the guests arriving whether or not they've used unique products before, or whether they've heard of unique products before, and just try and engage a little bit, and that helps me then during the course of the evening. I can refer to people and people's experience. I also, as they're coming in, I introduce the raffle, and this is very simple. It's just a sheet with 40 numbers on it, and I charge £2 per number, and the number goes into a little glass, and I let people know that at the end of the evening I will be drawing one of those numbers, and whoever's name is in the box for that number will win the entire pot of money to spend on products that evening. So the money never leaves the party. If that person decides they're not going to spend it, then tough, that money stays in the party. More often than not, people will use their money that they've won and purchase something else. I keep referring to that raffle throughout the evening. I keep encouraging people and asking if anyone wants any more numbers. It's £2 per number. I also refer to the catalogue very frequently and the page numbers of anything that I'm demoing. I explain before we start that I will be taking orders at the end of the evening, and that I do take card payments, and that usually puts a lot of people at ease as well. Okay, so once everyone's arrived and settled, I get people to sit around where I am. It could be on the floor, it could be around a table. It's quite nice actually to have people around a table in front of you and have people looking at the things that you've got. I will thank the hostess, and I will also say that I'm looking for 3 other party hostesses. If anyone would like to reserve a party slot, they don't have to state the date, but if they'd like to reserve a party slot this evening, if 3 people do that, then the hostess will get an extra free gift from me, and that usually encourages people to want to help their hostess out. I demo a little bit on myself. So again, like I said, I've gone with no makeup. I usually demo the primer. Everyone tests on, I give a little bit so that everyone tests on the back of their hand. Okay, so sorry, the door just went. So I demonstrate primer. I put primer all over my face and I explain what primer does, and I then pop a little tiny bit on the back of everyone's hands and I get them to rub it in. I usually also put a little bit on my hand and just leave it there for a little while, because I'll use that then later to demonstrate the difference that primer makes to your pigments, for example, or any of your eye colours. I then get the pencils and I normally draw on my arm, and I show how they are smudge proof and waterproof, and then I get a couple of drops of the foundation and I demonstrate the coverage and show people, and they're like, ooh no. And then I draw on my face and I do my foundation demo again. So now I've got a base, I've got my primer, I've got my pencils, I've got my foundation on, and I also then usually will demonstrate the mascara on one eye. And that's it for me. I usually then say that I will colour match people at the end if other people are interested in the foundation, and I ask them to look at the foundation page in the catalogue and have a look at the creams, the powders, the BB creams, and also the liquid foundations and concealers. And the mascara, I explain that I demo on myself. For hygiene reasons, I don't share out my mascara. Then I will do a full makeover, minus the mascara, on my hostess. Now, more often than not, my hostesses have actually bought something off me prior to being a hostess. They know the product, and it usually is the mascara. So I ask if they've got their mascara with them, and then I can do the full demo and get them to put their mascara on at the end, and that's the look finished. It doesn't have to be a hostess if they don't want to, or if they've held several parties for you, they might want to. Someone in the group might have a birthday or something, but you're going to make over somebody. And I go through the whole look. So I will do brows, I will do eyes, lips, I will do bronzer and show how you can contour with the bronzer, and just generally talk through the various products that are laid out. All the time I refer to the various pages in the catalogue, and all the time I'm mentioning to people to jot down on their order forms anything that they like as I'm going through, so that they don't forget. And I keep mentioning the raffle and how for £2 somebody might get their entire order for free, because there's up to £80 up for grabs. I talk about the collections as I'm doing the full makeover. So there's New and Skin in the Game, all of the collections, whatever the collection is relevant at the time. So if someone's more interested in eyes, then I'll mention that one. Obviously we've got the bronzers coming out, they're great for the summer. So I talk about those. Once the makeover is done on my hostess and I've demoed on myself, I open my kit up for people to play with, and I ask them if there's anything else that they want me to demo. Perhaps they want to see the splurge on me, and that's fine, so I'll do that. Or perhaps they want to see the lip colours, so I'll do the pencils and the lip stains, or the lipsticks, or the glosses, whichever. And I also then offer brow makeovers for anyone who wants one, and colour matches for anyone who wants one. And I just ask that people use my little tester sticks rather than putting stuff or their finger into things. When that's done, I just say I'm just going to sit quietly over here, and when you guys are ready, I'm happy to process any orders, cash or card. And if there's anything that somebody wants and you know that it's not in stock, I do explain about that, and I say that people can pay this evening and I will order it as soon as it becomes available. Just before I do that, say, oh, and don't forget, we're going to close the raffle now, so make sure you've all had your numbers, and then I will use a random number generator on my phone, and I will draw one of the numbers, and I'll say, oh, so and so, you've won the pot, you've got 40, 80 pounds off your order, however much that is, and that normally gets the ball rolling. And that's it, party done. So I hope you found that quite helpful. That's how I run my parties. Like I said, I'll save the documents into the files tab. Any questions, just message me. Thanks.